Last night had to be one of the coldest nights ever. Neither Angie and I could get much sleep. It was so cold. We were under a doona and we were sharing body heat, but it didn't seem to help. I actually slept in my beanie and my hoodie last night. So we yesterday passed our first aid course and got our certificates, and day before that we passed our VHF radio handling course. Our licenses will be got to us within the next 6 weeks or so, and today is Monday, which means we begin the first day of our Competent Crew Course. Really looking forward to it, you know, literally learning the ropes, but now it's just before 8 o'clock in the morning. Been to the loo and just about to get back on board and get some breakfast before we get whipped into shape at 9 o'clock. So
this is Dan.
He's also doing Competent Crew.
Hello.
Sorry about the shaking camera, my hand is shaking with cold.
And there's our skipper, Marika.
She's going to whip us into shape.
Barry, Dan and I spent the morning being taught all about the yacht and how things work, and by the afternoon we were out sailing in Gibraltar Bay.
Alrighty, this is us, geared up and prepped, ready for our first sail. How's it feeling, guys?
Great.
Good to go?
Yeah.
Alright, let's do it.
Okay.
So now it's 20 past 8 in the morning, and before we get sailing we've got to prep the boat, and one of those things is to take all the rubbish out. So I'm just heading up the pier to throw this rubbish away. It doesn't look it from what you're seeing on the camera, but it's freezing and there's quite a gusty wind blowing, and that wind really bites into you. So sailing is not all sunshine and cocktails. In the winter time, where we are at the moment, it's pretty damn cold. I think most of this wind, I don't even know where north and south is at the moment, but I think most of this wind is coming off something that's coming down the Atlantic from the north, and bringing a lot of cold with it. So today we're going to prep the boat relearn our rope and knot tying skills because we weren't very good yesterday, and then we're going to head out to either a Spanish port in Morocco, or further up the coast of Spain to a different marina up north. Personally, I hope we're headed south for obvious reasons.
Barry's wishful thinking didn't pan out the way he hoped, and based on the wind direction, our skipper Marika decided we would head north to La Duquesa, one of the Costa del Sol's best marinas on the southern Spanish coast. It was a great day for sailing, and everyone got the chance to take turns at the helm. We were even joined by a pod of common dolphins for part of our journey. We arrived into La Duquesa just on sunset, put the boat to bed and went out for a cold beer or two. La Duquesa is a very pretty marina, and it's easy to see why it's considered one of Spain's best.
Wednesday morning, we're in Spain, in La Duquesa, and we're just about to prep the boat ready for a fairly long sail. We're going across to the northern part of Africa to another Spanish colony called Ceuta, something like that. A little bit chilly this morning, but we've all been up, had our showers, because apparently the facilities on the other side of the water are not as good as these. So we did some last minute cleaning of ourselves. We've just got to prep the boat now and get out there. Probably going to be quite light winds today, and maybe a little bit of rain. It certainly is cold. My fingers are freezing, so if there's a little bit of camera shake, that's why.
The next day, as we left La Duquesa behind us, the wind and weather forecasts proved correct. No wind, cold temperatures, and rain thrown in for good measure. But we did have mugs of hot tea. What you doing today, Baz?
Well, today we're motor sailing.
Oh, why's that?
Because there's no wind.
Oh.
And this is probably the longest passage or trip we're going to go on, and we've just got no wind at all.
But we had wind yesterday.
We did have wind yesterday. Yesterday was fabulous. Today we're praying for wind. We did our week of competent crew, and we got our certificates. We are competent now on a boat. Just. At least they think we're competent. Right now we've got 4 days back on land in the classroom, where we do our theory for day skipper. As you can probably tell, we're looking pretty freaking knackered. It's
been hard. It's
challenging.
been hard, yeah. Yeah, it has. But it's been worth it, and you know, it was actually really good in a lot of ways. It's just challenging on all levels. Levels. You know, I think that's when you're on. That's when you feel alive, and that's when you get a really good sense of achievement when you actually get to the other end. So
true.
Yeah.
So we've just bought ourselves some fizzy water for the next.
And a coffee.
How many hours in the classroom? So 4 days now in the classroom, and then 5 days back on the boat doing competent crew. Day skipper. And then we're nearly at the end. No, we're actually halfway through. We've got a lot to go yet. So.
Dan, our crewmate, headed back to England, and we went into the classroom to learn day skipper theory alongside our new crewmates, Ryan and Colin. Next time on Sailing ABC, we're out of the classroom after 4 days of day skipper theory and back on board Rockefeller for our 5 days of day skipper practical. If you want to be notified when our next video is out, click on the subscribe button and click the bell icon. Thanks for watching.